I can see how it's changed me from the lethargic beast that couldn't quite move and wasn't happy with the world to, you know what, positive outlook, let's crack on. Anything's possible now for me. For me, it was just the feeling of being uncomfortable in my own skin, just feeling sort of, you know, as if, you know, life was becoming a little bit too hard, basically. The simple things were just hard. And that, I suppose, was a combination of mental and physical. Because, of course, you know, when you can't find, you know, for example, when you can't find a pair of trousers to go out in with the missus and some friends, there's a load of stress that goes with that. There's a load of other things that all spin around in there. And I think I was in a little bit of a spiral of, yes, I've tried lots of different things in the past to lose weight, to keep weight off. Yes, I've done a lot of triathlons in the past and been a lot, you know, leaner and fitter. But over, I suppose, you know, COVID and losing work and all sorts of things over the last 4 or 5 years, it's just got worse and worse. And I'm 6'5", so I can carry a lot of weight, unfortunately. But I was just that size where everything was just feeling far too hard, basically, you know, and whether that was, and you know, simple things, walking up the stairs, you know, it was almost you're dragging yourself up the stairs rather than walking up the stairs. I tried doing sort of fasting and that type of stuff, but it didn't really work because, you know, stresses of work and all the rest of it. You know, I'd fast for a day and then I'd smash down as many calories as I could get my hands on. And that's not really the way it's meant to work, basically. So I knew I needed to change something, and I knew I needed to do it now while I'm in my mid-50s, because otherwise there's a slippery slope there. You know, you've got, you know, heart disease, you've got diabetes, you've got, you name it. And all of those dark thoughts affected me, got me going, right, I better have a little look around. And that was the trigger, basically. It was just almost a cathartic, you know what, I'm just going to do it. And, you know, I'm very, very pleased I did. I think for me, it was almost the, because I've tried lots of different diets. I've tried tracking stuff. I've done, but it was almost that combination of, you know, this is not a diet per se. It's a rethinking or reimagining of, you know, how you work, how your food works for you. How you as an individual want to move, how you want to take simple steps to get that process going. And I think the way you describe the whole, this is not, I'm not going to blow your mind with, you know, you've got to do 77,000 exercises every 2 days. It's a gradual change where you can work these things into your life and just change yourself and pick up some new habits. And actually the key word for me in all of this is sustainable. It's not only making those simple changes now, but now I'm through the program. I've now built all of these things into my new normal. It's part of my, you know, it's part of my daily life. As humans, we're all slightly resistant to any type of change, whether it's somebody says to you, right, I want to go up and look through some of the things in the program. I want you to, you know, do 10,000 steps in a day. Now, we don't start at 10, we start at 7. So you think, yeah, I can do that. Then you step it up to 10, excuse the pun. But then there's other things like, well, meditation, that's a really interesting thing. Now, a lot of people will think meditation is the, chanting Buddhas on the top of a hill and all that malarkey. But it's not. It really is very simple. And if you get, you know, the various apps that are out there, and I won't name particular products, but there's some really simple apps you can use, some for free, that actually gets you to think about, you know, why you're doing things, how you're doing things, what's your mindfulness towards achieving those goals. And I think that for me, as a set of, you know, initially it was like, oh my God, what's all this going to do? But I think slowly and surely it embeds itself, and you sort of think, yeah, I'm not only training my body, I'm not only learning new skills about food and how I use, you know, how food and me work together, but I'm actually training my mind. So in any fitness regime, why would you not train the most important muscle in the body, basically? So that was a really intriguing one. For me, that's turned into one of the superpowers that comes from the program. It's the mindfulness that helps you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, what you can achieve, and actually simply sort of giving you the right mindset to get up in the morning and crack on. the ultimate key for me from the program is it's not a program where you're like, you're forcing things down people's throat. You must do that. It's not. It's learn these things, adapt them to your life, and your life will be a much better thing because of it. And I now have the tools to do that, to keep changing, keep driving at goals, only, whether that's weight, whether that's fitness, whether it's work, whether it's family. So it's that whole learning process that then builds the sustainability into every day. And I think that's the magic that you've worked into the program, without a shadow of a doubt. Weight has gone from 126 kilos to 108.7, so that's 17.3 kilograms. So that's a big lump. Body fat, I mean, my body fat's gone from like in the 40s to now I'm under 30, so like 28.4% body fat. So that's 12.4% body fat. So that's 12.4% of my body that I've got rid of, that I didn't need, basically, which you think about it, it's a lot. Things like, I mean, for me, because I'm an ex-triathlete, because I don't run anymore, so the knees don't work as well. I used to track my heart rate all the time, and I have been tracking it over the last 12 weeks. And I've gone from an average resting heartbeat of in the sort of, 73, 74. It's now down to 58, 59. So, which is a real interesting indicator of sort of your overall health and what your body's doing, how hard your body's working to keep you alive, basically. So your heart rate balances out as you get fitter. Waist. My waist has gone from 120 centimetres down to about 103 now. So that's 17 centimetres. And that's made a real difference, not only to sort of my physical well-being, but actually cathartically, I can get into my old wardrobe. In fact, I tried on the suit that I wore for my wedding, which is 27 years old. Now, it's one of those things you keep in the cupboard because you think, I'll look at that every now and again. I haven't touched it for years and years and years. So, and I put it on the other night. I jokingly said to the good lady wife, I bought a new suit during the day because she was out and then came back, and I was in it. I was standing in the kitchen with it. She's like, that's quite a nice suit. Where'd you get that from? I went, well, it's a little bit older than you think it is. And when I told her, there was a few tears, but she was just like over the moon that, I've got myself back to where I was 27 years ago, which is an amazing thing to do. And I suppose, hips, chest, they've all got smaller. So that whole core where all that big fat was hiding, gone is the simple answer. So, and those are great stats. The simple thing for me is it's that combination of mindfulness, and the mindfulness, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? What am I looking to achieve? What am I going to achieve? So mindfulness has given me the positive energy to just go and do things. And out of that came a new job. But it's also a great one from a family perspective because, I don't overreact now when my youngest daughter tells me that, her boyfriend's coming over the weekend, or it's like, oh, hold on. You sort of go, right, take a little breath. Okay, how's this going to... And I think you can apply those skills to however you want to use them, basically. But I've used them to, reduce the stress in my life, have a much better outlook. Gone is the lethargy from both a physical perspective and a mental perspective. It's the, the can-do, will-do attitude of just go out there and crack on and make it happen. Take the opportunity to invest in yourself. Basically, look at this as I'm investing in me and learning how to balance my life, learn some new skills. A lot of people just, worry about everybody else and go, hold on a minute. If I don't look after me, how can I look after everyone else? And you've got to do that right. They will get the very simple, easy to follow instructions. They can grasp the opportunities, work it into their lives and just make change.